Good evening, everyone. Just give me a second here. We're trying to mess around with the shorts. I'm not sure if that works or not. I think so. All right, so got a new 1 hour candle here. Kind of waiting to see if we get some kind of pullback here. I just don't know if we need to pull back 50% of this candle here. And that would have us pulling back into the close to the 200s. We'll give it a minute and see what happens. Let me see. What is this? I mean, it looks fairly bullish though. If you had the 50% pullback, you're looking at a pullback all the way pretty much down into the 20s. Let's see what this candle pulled back. So this previous candle pulled back about 60%. Let's try with 2 micros here. Let me switch over to the 5-minute chart so I can see where we're at here. Ooh. We made it, got 50% of the pullback on that 5-minute candle. We hit that 50, I'm gonna go to break even. So we'll risk 40 bucks. Let me make sure I'm on the right account. I haven't been trading Power Hour in a while, so this is probably the first time I've traded Power Hour in, I don't know, a couple weeks now. We're going to keep our things kind of small. I mean, we're already up kind of big today on this account. So let me make sure I can get it. Sorry about that. Let's see. Yes, so overall we're up 380 today. We are red on our one funded by 48 bucks. That was pretty much our red today, was that funded, but we were kind of iffy about trading that today. And we're also green on our evals on Apex accounts. So if you're also looking at the hourly chart, we're basically taking this trade off the hourly chart. So what we did was waited till we got a wick on this. So this is way we're in this small. If it comes back and stops us out, but like I said, it's about $40 of our profit from today. I'm trying to make it where you can see it. So, and see, we got a little fair value gap back down there, and we also have an imbalance there also. A lot of times you can get a little bullish move anytime you see kind of a little imbalance between the candles. What's up, Solo? How are you doing today or this evening? We were trying YouTube Shorts for Power Hour. So that's why we're in the vertical screen. So if you're on your phone, it'll be look a little bit normal, kind of like TikTok. Was hoping we'd get a little bit more pump at the first of the hour here. We almost have equal highs sitting up at 75, also on your hourly candles. Here's the hourly chart. Let me make sure you can see it. So you have pretty much equal highs sitting up here at 73, 75. I'm hoping this wick right here doesn't hold us down at 48.50 here, because we're about to hit a bottom of a wick here at the 50s. No dancing on the TikTok there, guy. A little too old for that. Yeah, I hurt myself. No, we just thought we would try YouTube Shorts. This is why we're just doing it for Power Hour. Where's those equally high wicks up there? I'm going to try to shoot for this fair value gap up here. We got a fair value gap possible fill in up here at the 80s. I'm hoping we can just hit our first target. This way we can just go to break even. Because I'm scared we could hit that 50 and pull all the way back down to the 25s. So that's the only thing that worries me here. And we may even we'll stay in this thing for 4 points right here then. 4 points. Because like I said, you got your EMAs all the way back down here at the 25. It could hit the 50 and pull all the way back down to the 25. We missed our target by like a point, man. So we are going to go to break even. This way, if it does decide it wants to pull all the way back, because it missed our target by 1 point. We hit the 52, didn't quite get the 53. What's up, Capital? Okay. All right. So free trade on here. It'll just do what it's going to do. So like I said, if it comes back and stops us out, And if it pulls all the way back down at 20s, we may add one more contract for the one we lost. Someone's pretending to be you messaging me on Discord. That's weird. Yeah, I don't message anybody. I would just block them, Capital. All right, so here comes that pullback, possibly all the way back down to the 25s. Because a lot of times if we run up and hit past 50, you will pull back down to like between that 30 and 20 area. And that's also where your EMAs are sitting. So we already hit our first 10 points, and so now we're just, it'll either come back and stops us out, or we're going to target, did I take my, I was going to, I must have took my order off. Let me see where we could go to. We got a big old fair value gap sitting up there between 87 and 309 on the hourly. Got two big wicks there sitting also at 94. So we're just going to target 80. Or 73. There you go. Right above the 200 moving average. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking some profit out of this. At least right there above the 50 EMA. I mean the 50, the whole number. Ooh, big old dirty wick. And see, I wouldn't even mind pulling back and just get a better entry, because I feel like we could possibly, like I said, pull back into this area here. Let's see. We got another little, I don't know if it will. I mean, that's quite a bit of a pullback on your hourly candle. There's a little gap sitting there at the 32. And there's also an imbalance gap sitting at 35. So I don't know if it wants to clean those up. How have you been lately, Capital? Is anybody watching this like on their cell phone? Like I said, this is the first time I've kind of ever done YouTube Shorts, so I didn't know if, because I can still see it on the regular PC, but not in the short form. Pretty good. We just got a nice little 10-point trade. We probably had close to 20, but we got stopped out for I think 7 or 8 points on the runner. Oh, that's the lunch highs. Let me pull over and look at that one thing real quick. Okay. We also have a 5-minute order block also sitting there. That's what we hit the top of. We hit the top of that 5-minute order block. I'm going to try to jump back in with a micro if we can get a deep enough pullback. I want to see us pull back into the 9 EMA. Where did my hourly candle go? 33 is the bottom of the hourly candle. I don't know if it gets down there or not. Sorry. Where's my... A little bit farther. I thought we were going to clean up that imbalance gap there at 34. Or the gap down at the 30s. Capital, do we not usually rerun back up through lunchtime high? I mean, is that not something that you don't think we could run? A lot of overhead. Watch this baby just go now. Yeah, there's really no way for me to re-enter this at this moment. Kind of already been stopped out. Yeah, I was already in my long from there, officially upset, because we were long from 43 a while ago, but I didn't want to get a worse entry, so I figured my runner got stopped out. I know my safest spot where I needed to have my stop loss was probably 33. That was the low of that 1 hour candle. Now all we got to do is just sit here and watch. Unless we can hit that 72-75 area and get another pullback to the 50s, then maybe we can re-enter from off of that. What's up, Eric? Pretty good so far. I know this week's been a tough trading day. I really didn't trade a lot this week because I have been just waking up in the middle of the night this week, like 1, 2 o'clock, and I've been staying up all night, and I'm just not motivated to trade in the morning. Like, we've only traded twice this week. We traded Tuesday morning for a little bit, but didn't trade Monday or Wednesday. Then this evening for Power Hour, I thought I would try the YouTube shorts. But see, a lot of times I also work too. And a lot of times I work between like noon and 6. That's why a lot of times I'm not on during this time of the day. But I know I need to start streaming at different times because of it's really hard to build your channel in the morning time because there's so many people streaming. No doubt. So it looks like we're just going to be grinding until like the probably 2:30 or even the closer to the end of the hour at the dev candle. So right now we're heading to the top of the New York lunch session. That's what Capital was talking about a while ago, and that's at 74. And there's also a 5-minute order block in this area too. Let's see if we can get that pulled up so it's easy to see. All right, make sure you can see it. Yeah, let's see. Well, see, we've already had the bounce there once, so maybe if we can get above 74, find support at that 75, then there's a possible room for at least a 10 to 20 point trade in this area here. Because there's a lot of consolidation in this area. So it looks like you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 or 6 candles before it finally sold off this morning. Or at lunchtime. See, I was kind of really hoping for like a deeper pullback here back into the 20s once we got above 50s, but we didn't get it. And I hesitated, so I didn't get back in. I'm hoping right here at this lunchtime high that we'll just barely just poke above the 74s, then have another decent pullback. So like hit the 75, 76 area, then have another pullback down to the 50s. Oh, you're thinking maybe we might pop and get above 70? Man, this thing's just been kind of grinding. All right, new 5-minute candle. We're in the middle of the order block. And the top of that New York session lunchtime is at 274. So that's what I want to see us hit. I want to see us hit this area, then pull back to clean up the EMAs to bring them up with them. what was that, the 70? Yeah, hit the 70. That's what Fishless was saying. If we got above the 70, we might pop. Come on, let's get the pull back to the 9 EMA. That's what I want to see. I want to see it pull back into the EMAs to look for a long. Then maybe then you can take it up to the whole number up there at the 90s. Let's see where the bottom of that order block is sitting at 60. Do we get any kind of little bump at 330? Like I said, it's been kind of a minute for me trading power hour. Was that just 50% of the candle? I didn't even think about that. Ah, shoot. Yup. That was 50% of the, that 5-minute candle. Sorry if I'm messing up there. I try to look at that because a lot of times if we struggle getting through 50% of this candle, we're moving back up. A lot of times what I'll do, like during the morning when volatility is a little high, I'll watch these 5-minute candles. And if it's super bullish or bearish, I'll just wait for the 50% pullback, then just look for a long back above the next previous candle. All right, let's see if we can get that pull back into the 50s here. That'll be 50% of this leg here. Fish Lips, have you been long since 25, or did you get long above the 200 level? So far, the volume's just kind of flattened at the moment. Come on, little candle. Or a lot of times this is usually a bullish move too. So a lot of times if you get this little doji candle like this, and it's just possibly going to move up. Because that's almost like the pullback. So 55 is the, like I said, the 50% of the total move pullback here. But you can also notice that we're not breaking back below the previous wick either. So I was trying to do that today, like on some of these 5-minute candles. It's almost like you can do the same way if you ever done that with a 2-minute candles, where you can just follow the 5 minutes candles up and use the bottom of the previous wick as your stop loss. Like I said, the only way we'll jump in unless we pull back to the 50 to 55, then we'll try to find an entry. Or even the 40s or something. Because like I said, all of your EMAs are kind of stacked down there around what, the 30s and 40s. So to kind of bring up the moving average. Okay, so you've pretty much been long since 200. That's pretty nice there. If for some reason we cannot catch this long here, I don't know if we got enough time to get there because we only have 30 minutes. But man, there's a massive 5-minute order block up here between the 320s to 340s. But I don't think we'll get there because you can look. It'll take forever to get through all these wicks or the bottom of these candles. So I see why you're targeting the bottom of this for your entry fish slips, that 292, 293 area. The bottom there. Or for your last contract. I'll try to jump in there with you if we can get a decent pullback, but I don't know if we will. I want to see a pullback and clean up the non-EMA, just like maybe a little non-EMA bounce here. Or if we can't get an entry and for some reason we're able to at least push up 20, 30 points in the next, say, 10 minutes or so, maybe we can look for a short out of the 90s. So we're going to have to wait another 10 minutes before volume pops in. Or even if we can find support above 75, you might be able to get 10 points. But I don't think your runner, you wouldn't get anything off your runner. So we're about to be at the top of that order block there at 74. And that's also the top of your New York AM session here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So if you have the kill zone areas on your charts, that's also at the top of that at 74 also. That was the lunch high. Oh, we just tipped right above that 73, 74 level. Oh, wow. Look at it go. I'm going to try to see if we can get the pullback back off of the, because I think it'll definitely get up to 92, but I'm just trying to get it in case it hits it right before it. A lot of times it's been, shoot, I don't know if that's right. I might have to adjust my, whatchamacallit. I don't remember if I have my ATM thing right. Maybe I got time to fix it. Let's see. Oh, they're right. Never mind. Then this way, if it does push above 90, like I know we're going to run at resistance at that 92, 93 level. And there's tons of resistance between 90 and 310 that we could add a possible micro or two. See, there's the first hit. There's about 3 candles there on the 5 minutes. Then your next ones are sitting at right above 305. I think that's what Fish Lips was talking about. Then we're also at the 300. So there's tons of wicks in this area, especially at 305. So there's a lot going on in this area that we should get a rejection up there. The only way I'll take this off, if for some reason we pull all the way back down to the 50, then I would rather look for a long out of this area than taking a short out of this area. This is where I like to see a 20-point pullback here, Fish Lips. We want to see a pullback all the way to the 50s. Or even, right there back to that 9 and 21 EMA. Oh, did I change those? Oh, I think I changed those. Okay, so 56 is where the 9 is. I'm sorry. I think I changed those. 271. Man, I don't. Let's see. My 9 has it at. I'm on the 5 minutes too. Is that the 1 minute 9? Yeah, that's the 1 minute 9. I mean, it is a nice looking little bear flag. Or bull flag, I'm sorry. I'm going to switch back over to the 5 minute charts. I've been trying to stay away from the 1 minute so much. Or either that or I'll take my trade on the 1 minute, but I'll have the 5 minute up over here. All right, so 237. That would be a nice pullback too if we could get something down there to sell side. Because since we just swept buy side. Everybody out and push. I want to jump back in, but I know if I try to jump back in here in the middle, I'll just get wrecked, fish lips. We just go play it safe. It's the end of the day. We basically paper handed our trade a little bit because, like I said, we at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock because we were trading off the 1 hour candle, and my stop loss should have been at 33. I got my 10 points, but I went to break even. So my original entry was off the hour. So this was your 2 o'clock hourly candle. It left like a nice little fair value gap and a volume imbalance. So this is where I was saying that stop loss had to be. This is where my stop loss originally was at 33. Then we got long as soon as we started popping this previous hourly candle. So now we've just been kind of sitting here. I know it's kind of like we've been stuck here in this little 10-point range for like the last, what, at least 30 minutes. What, 60 to 80? I mean, we've just been, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 30 minutes, 25 minutes we've been just stuck here. Yeah, and this is like the worst time to enter is like whenever it's consolidating. There's nothing worse than entering a trade and you're just kind of stuck there with no movement or no volume. Excuse me. Now, if this thing does not tag me in before the 250 candle, we may close this trade because I do not want to be sitting in a resting order for a pop candle because this thing could just go either way for that 250, 255, or 355, 350 candle. And see, the ES is also running into a 5-minute order block sitting up there also at 82. And it's at 79. So it's only got about 3 more points before it runs into some resistance. Oh, hopefully I didn't mess up my stuff. What time is it? 48. Now, does that candle pop at 350 or 355? Don't we usually get a bigger pop at the 255 candle? Okay, shoot. We got 1 minute left. I may come in from behind it if we're going to do a short. I don't know if I want to be in it and it pop here. Because we're consolidating pretty hard in this area. I mean, we're just building a big old consolidation idiot box. It'd be one thing to be in it from like, you know, like way down here, but not not waiting on it. All right, we're taking it off. We only got 20 seconds left before the 250 candle. So just be aware that if you're in your trade, I'm hoping it's a dead candle. I hope it pushes up here, then maybe we can look for a short out of this area if it's not too aggressive. Oh, did I? What? There's the 90 hit. Watch this thing go all the way back down. Oh, it did. Of course, it would have hit the 90 and moved all the way back down. I just didn't have it in me to do it, fish lips. Just didn't have it in me. But it hit the 90 right on the head. There's your 10 points. He bailed at 80. Oh, no, it. Dang it. That sucks. I'm sitting over here waiting on this one move or the other like this whole time, and that crap had to hit at the freaking death candle, at the murder bot. Wow. That sucks. I just didn't trust it. Now, if it was like normal hitting, trust it all day long, but not during when you have just a strong like volume. And I think we could still get another bounce because it did not hit. Let's see. I don't think it did not hit those candles. 95. So we were like 6 points off of that. Equal here. We could also, if it's not too close, I mean, we could look for a short up here off of the 300s, the 305s for a pullback into the 70s if possible. Since we missed our 90 trade. That sucks. I don't know if we'll be able to get another entry in the next 5 minutes, guys. I feel like that 90 was at least 10 points and maybe a 5 or 10 point runner. So the 90 got back to exactly where we were thinking about that 75, 70 area. And that's usually most of the time case if you're looking at the 300. A lot of times we'll hit the 300, we'll pull back 1/4 and then move back up to 310. Then we'll pull back to 390. Most of the time, this is all just crazy how much this repeats itself, then goes back up through if it's going to continue higher. Then it'll more likely hit the 325. That's where Fish Lips is going to have his short at. Then if it goes through the 325, he's got a short sitting at the 350. Then he's looking for the pullback to the 300. I'm going to have to try that tomorrow. Is that about right, Fish Lips? Or 310, 312. I've been like trying to watch that a little bit more just to get used to that type of price action, but I still don't feel like super comfortable with it. But as far as the 90 goes, here's the Murderbot candle, the 255 candle. But this is pretty common though. Your first 90 hit, you almost gets you 10 points almost every time. Maybe not 100%, but most of the time you get a resistance at the 90 whole number. And then it'll struggle between the 90 and 310. This is usually the hardest part to trade if you're trading between these two levels. Between the 10 and the 90 is always super hard to trade. So a lot of times I'll do it in a 3 if I want a long. So I'll hit the 10, wait for it to hit the 10, pull back 95 to 90. Then when it sells back through the 300s, I'll look for a long. And that way, if it doesn't come back and it continues selling through 90, more than likely it's going back down to 50 again. I don't know if we'll have enough time for all this resistance. Like I said, if you look to the left here, there is so much down candles or down wicks to the left here at this from this morning. So it would just take so much to get through all of this. Unless like the 58 candle just gives you something wild here. Ooh, look at the 90 paying the bills, guys. What do we got? 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes. Just be aware of that 58, 59 candle if you are in a position. Good evening, Outer. We took one more trade during power hour, Outer. We were long from 43 earlier, but we got our first initial 10 points, but our runner, we got stopped out. And that was right at 3 o'clock. Ever since then, we just kind of been sitting sideline. Our second trade that we were looking for a trade off the 90 or 89. So I had a resting order sitting here, but I didn't want to risk it being the murder bot candle at the 50, so we took it off. And my luck, it hit exactly on the 90, 89 area, then pulled back about 15 points. Then we also hit again here, then sold back 20 points. But I didn't attempt it the second time because it was also falling around the 55 candle. And I don't usually trade between that 4 and 5. Here's your 59 candle here. So we're already in our 59 candle. This was the 58 candle. So this was our 59 candle. So yeah, we didn't overtrade a lot this morning, Outer. Remember, we kept all of our stuff small after we got up green. Most of the morning, we were just trading with those 2 micros. That way, if... that way, we wasn't taking any big damage this morning. Woo! There comes the pump. There's the 300. You might have been able to got you 10 points by shorting that 300. It'd have been close. Let's see. Yeah, you would have got your 10 points if you shorted the 300. Then look for a runner maybe back into the 70s if this was like normal time of the day. See if you get that. You may get the 9 EMA here, which this is on the 1 minute. It's at the 83s. But at the 90 holds, this is where, like I said, a lot of times I'll get long back above the 300 tier 2. There's a gap sitting at 305. Let's see. Is that on the 1 minute chart? I don't see that. I don't see that gap. Oh, 1 hour on the 1 hour. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I had it. I'm sitting here looking on the 5 minutes and it's in my face in the 1 hour chart. Oh, goodness. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in for Power Hour today. So we only took one trade during the Power Hour. We got our 10 points. The runner got stopped out. I was looking for a bounce off of the 90 level, but it was going into the death candle, and so I didn't want to attempt it. So we took it off. Yeah, I may use one of my evals. Like I said, we still been watching the one setups that you talk about, fish lips, with trading the whole numbers. But I still don't really feel comfortable doing it. I know you've talked about it for a long time, but until you do it, it's not comfortable. Yeah, there's no more momentum. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we will be back in the morning. Thank you.